Hi, this is Jeff with CityNetMagazine.com coming to you from the 2013 Montreal Auto Show. I'm here with Alex from Lexus Canada, and as you can see in the background here, we're taking a look at the LFA, Lexus's pinnacle, actually the most expensive car at the show. How much is this one exactly?
This one is $426,000.
$426,000 for an all-carbon V10 that's spitting out how much horsepower?
552.
552 horsepower. The thing about this car, it just looks fast standing still. It's awesome. I'm right now, I got a beautiful shot of the carbon fiber brakes that will just haul this car down from ridiculous speeds. Now, I understand this car is made in a special process. Could you explain that a little?
For sure. There's actually Lexus, which is owned by Toyota, initially was in the loom business, and they created a loom for carbon fiber, so they were able to build the tub of the vehicle. Wow. All 100% carbon fiber. So it's our own technology to build a car.
So you could understand that, granted the car is worth $427,000, and I'm sure there's options in other models that are much more expensive, but you have to understand that the build of this car is something that's not normal. It's not a production line car. This is something that takes multiple man hours, and probably only skilled and trained technicians are only allowed to work on this.
You were absolutely correct. If we were to open the hood, you would see that the vehicle was hand-built at LFA Works, and it's signed by the technician who actually worked on the engine. So it's very unique. Only 500 of those are made worldwide, and it's over a 2-year production.
Wow!
And that was achieved at the end of December. Okay. So the plant is going to be torn down, used for other purposes, not torn down, but used for other purposes.
Wow. So, I mean, 2-year production line, and after that, it's a done deal. So just to go to show you that there's a lot of manufacturers that come out and they build, you know, you have the Ferraris, you have the Lamborghinis, you have the McLarens like we saw, even Fisker. I mean, these are cutting-edge technology cars. But Toyota and Lexus have such a determination to show the world that they're on the forefront of cutting-edge design technology to make a car that's so beautiful, so form-fitting, high-revving V10 engine. Too bad we couldn't hear it because it's symphony. It's the sound is oral insanity. And after 2 years of production, making 500 units, they're actually going to dismantle the plant. So you could just see, it goes to show that Toyota, they're like, we could do that, but we don't need to, you know. We're going to stick with our bread and butter with the GSs, the ISs, the LSs, the RXs. And so they give us a teaser here just to whet the palate. And hopefully in the future, they might come back with something even more powerful, even more performing. But I'm sure, you know, listen, between me and you, I'd take this car, wouldn't you?
I would take it for a spin any day.
Now, you told me there's a special process when they deliver it. Could you explain that a little?
Well, the process is very unique because of the value of the vehicle. We do special deliveries to every guest, and some guests across Canada, there's only 10 vehicles in Canada, have chosen to have the delivery of the car at their home. So we've done that for them because it's a special vehicle. So it's very unique. And just as a reference for technology, you were talking about technology. A lot of technology that was put into that vehicle is now appearing in the new models. Wow. And you'll see just a little cue like the rear view mirrors on the IS, or you'll have the tachometer on the LFA, which is digital and moves around. We now have that on the IS 350F Sport.
Wow! So a lot of what they're using for here, they're sourced for their other models going forward. So really, this is a benchmark. I mean, this car, you know, is probably should be badged at 2015 or 2020 because of the technology in it. One quick note: every car that has a tachometer is worked by a vacuum tube, and basically it's sort of attached to the engine and it's mechanically driven. Now this engine revs so fast, so high, that basically they have to do an LCD graph. So could you explain that a little?
Well, you touched right on it. Is the tachometer, which is vacuum driven, mechanical from the engine, was too slow and was not responding to the revolution of the engine. So in order to get a tachometer that was following the real revolution of the engine, they had to go with a digital. rev tachometer.
That's insane. It just goes to show you that all that money they put into F1, they took a lot of that technology, they stuffed it under the hood, and then they realized there were some problems that were arising that they couldn't keep up with the performance and power of the car.
Correct.
So they had to make adjustments. Also, the sound of this engine is so insane that there's an actual ducting that comes in the car that diverts the sound of the engine right into the cabin. So, I mean, not only that the people outside are enjoying it, you're getting the benefit of enjoying it inside.
Exactly. In the inside, there's actually 2 ducts that brings the stereo sound into the cabin so that you make sure you enjoy every rev of the car, every downshift, every blip that the car does for you. You enjoy 100% of those. And as a side note as well, so much effort has been put on that car. Yamaha has participated in making the exhaust manifold to make sure that the sound is perfect to the key when it comes out at the end of the exhaust.
I heard not for nothing that Toyota Lexus, they own a part of Yamaha, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's probably just a walk down the street for them, and they go in there, and Yamaha, obviously, they make music instruments as well as snowmobiles and motorcycles. And like Alex was saying, that Yamaha actually tuned this to make the sound incredible. So we have to understand that there's so much level of detail in here that surpasses any car that I've seen on the showroom floor. I mean, we've gone through 600 horsepower cars, we've gone through electric vehicles with extended range, all beautiful makes, all beautiful cars. But this, for me, is the crown of the Montreal Auto Show. And hopefully one day, you know, if somebody wants to give me a gift, you know, I wouldn't mind getting one of these. Now, Alex, just a final thing. Now, you said this model is basically, there's 2 models. There's a Nürburgring and there.
Yes. Well, out of the 500 that were built, 50 lucky owner that were purchasing an LFA had the chance to move up to a Nürburgring edition. So there's only 50 worldwide Nürburgring edition. Nürburgring edition gives you 10 more horsepower. They take few items out of the car to bring down the weight, such as a GPS, floor mats. Okay, so all these little things to trim down the weight so the car is a little bit faster. Your transmission is also a bit more race driven, so the shifter is going to be faster.
Closer ratio gearing.
Well, not so much closer ratio, just faster shifts. Shifter upshift and downshifts. So, and a lot of downforce improvement on the car.
Now, a side note, that Nürburgring edition, I heard, is the fastest production car around the Nürburgring. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Wow. So, like I said before, this car is phenomenal, worth every dollar. And you know, a lot of people argue with me, what are you going to do with a car that says 552 horsepower? What are you going to do with a car that's $500,000? Well, you know what? There's a market, and I'm sure all 500 are sold.
All 500 are sold. That's worldwide. Once again, in Canada, we only had 10. Of those, 2 are in Quebec, and that's one of them. We have to borrow from the owner because it's so rare. And the exclusivity of the vehicle is what it is.
Yeah, I heard. I mean, there's a lot of different car magazines out there, and they actually call Lexus, and Lexus is like, you know what, we're going to give you in touch with one of the owners because we don't even have one to show. So just to show you that this car is actually one of the crown jewels of the Montreal Auto Show, and therefore any auto show around. And you know, I'll even dare other manufacturers to come close to the level of technology that is into this car. Very beautiful, very nice car. Once again, thank you, Alex.
My pleasure, anytime.
And my name's Jeff, coming to you from citynetmagazine.com. Thanks.
Thanks, Jeff.